Jerry and Sylvia Lynn lived in a quiet home in Ross Township, Pennsylvania. For over 13 years, life was mostly uneventful, except for one incredibly consistent annoyance. Every evening, a strange beep, beep, beep would echo through the house. And it wasn't just a mild little chirp. This thing grew louder, sharper, and more intense, like a digital alarm throwing a tantrum, at the exact same time, every single day. Even guests started noticing it. Is your smoke detector broken? Is that coming from inside the wall? Do you guys not hear that? At some point, most visitors looked like they were about to call in a priest, but Jerry and Sylvia, they were over it. After more than a decade, the sound had become part of the household soundtrack. Sylvia even joked, "It's like having a very punctual pet living inside the drywall." So, what was this mystery noise? Well, to understand that, we need to go back to 2004, the day Jerry decided to wire up the family's entertainment system. Now, anyone who's ever tried setting up a home theater knows it's never as easy as it looks on YouTube. Wires, ports, cables, all designed to test your patience and question your life choices. Jerry had an idea. He needed to drill a hole through the wall to run some wires, but first, he had to make sure there were no pipes or electrical lines in the way. Logical, right? So he came up with what he proudly called a brilliant solution. He tied a small digital alarm clock to a string, set the alarm to go off in 10 minutes, and lowered it into a wall cavity through an upstairs vent. The idea? When the alarm rang, he'd hear exactly where it was and know it was safe to drill. Simple, ingenious, foolproof. Except, well, it wasn't. As he was feeding the string down, there was a jerk, a subtle tug, and then clunk. The line went slack. The clock had slipped off and dropped completely into the wall. Oops. Now, a normal person might have been upset, but not Jerry. He shrugged and thought, no big deal. The batteries will die soon. Spoiler alert, they didn't. That little digital alarm clock, lost behind drywall, continued to go off every single evening. For 13 years. Let that sink in. One tiny slip-up turned into 4,750 alarm chimes. That's over 3 full days of total beeping if you add it all up. At first, Jerry and Sylvia thought it would fade out in a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, maybe Christmas. But year after year, the alarm sang its robotic little song, so punctual it practically deserved a pension. And since it was stuck behind a wall, they couldn't adjust it for daylight savings either. So for half the year, it went off at 6:50 p.m. The other half, 7:50 p.m. Sylvia said it started off gently, just a few spaced out beeps, but ramped up fast. At least it didn't make us jump, she told a local news station. We got used to it. Jerry, he was still defending the idea a decade later. It wasn't a bad plan, he insisted. It just had bad execution. Touché. In 2017, the story gained attention after CNN picked it up. Word of the haunted wall clock started to spread. Soon, local HVAC technicians Dawn Mikluchchi and Keith Anderson from Low Cost Heating and Air saw the story and thought, we can fix this. Armed with better tools than Jerry had back in 2004, they came to the Lynn home to finally track down the mysterious sound. After some clever maneuvering through the home's ductwork, Dawn spotted it. There's a clock in there, she said, with vibrant numbers stuck on a wire. Within minutes, they carefully fished the little guy out. No wall demolition necessary. And sure enough, there it was. A small, well-traveled digital travel alarm clock. A little worse for wear, but still alive. And still beeping. When they opened the battery compartment, the batteries were corroded, but somehow still juiced up. The brand? Rayovac. Honestly, that's the best ad campaign they'll never use. Jerry, after seeing the clock again for the first time in over a decade, admitted he barely remembered what it looked like. It was just something I grabbed. I got the type right. Digital, travel-sized, just not the style. He and Sylvia decided they're going to keep the clock, give it a place of honor in the house. After all, it's not just a clock. It's a symbol of persistence, of unintentional comedy, of a DIY plan gone hilariously sideways. And it brought them a bit of fame, a lot of laughs, and a great story they'll be telling for the rest of their lives. As for Jerry, he still stands by his strategy. "It was a good idea," he said. "It just didn't work the way I planned. Jerry, we salute you. So next time you think your house is haunted, or you hear something strange in the walls, pause before you panic. It might just be your past DIY mistakes, literally coming back to beep at you." If you enjoyed this wild story, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and comment below. What's the weirdest noise you've ever heard in your home? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.